Hey girl, hey, welcome to Tia's Table. Let's talk about everything from the latest fitness and wellness trends, recipes that are actually worth cooking, and the craziness that's happening on our side of the internet. Sit back, grab a snack, and let's have some girl talk. Hey girl, hey, welcome back to another episode of Tia's Table. First and foremost, we have so much to talk about, and I'm going to try to do it in as little time as possible because I need to go pick my child up from school today because his daddy can't go do it. I also need to go to the grocery store somewhere in between the pickups because yesterday these children wanted to bake brownies. I didn't have one of the main ingredients, and it was like a whole thing. And I made a promise that today they would make brownies after school. So I have got to make my way back over to that grocery store before I pick up the last child. And you would think that I have enough time to do that because it's only 12:45 on this Monday, January the 12th. But the truth of the matter is that between now and when that last child gets picked up from school, it's like no time at all. You do not have enough time for nothing extra to happen between now and 4:30. But I'm going to do my best, girl. If you are not following Tia's Table Podcast on Instagram, please go over there and give that page a follow. It is where I share all of the things that I talk about here on the podcast, as well as things that maybe I want to talk about on the podcast, but then because of how my life is set up, I might not get to, so I talk about it over there. If you're following the fitness page, and that is what got you to the podcast, well, hey girl, hey, over there, that's where I share like my workouts and the things that I do to stay in shape. And I love that we have two different places to get together and be friendly. But those are the differences between the two pages, just in case anyone was wondering. I want to talk about a lot of different random things today. But before we talk about any of it, let's talk about what is on my table right now. First of all, let me get one of the unhealthy things out of the way. Because it was so good. And I should have known it was going to be good because I bought it from Costco and those two things just tend to go together. But I really didn't know because of the label on the item. Okay, so it was the little miniature Dubai chocolate cakes that have like pistachio and coconut on them. And the label said something about a mint flavor. I did not get any mint in any of the bites I had last night. I mean, I ate a whole one of the little cakes and I didn't taste any mint in mine. So yeah, I don't know why the label said that, but girl, when I mean to tell you that thing was good, it was good. You get 4 of the little cakes right now. They are on sale at Costco for $5.97 because I think they're trying to get rid of them. Let me tell y'all, that thing was so good that I was frightened, that I was like, ooh, like, why would they give us 4 of these? Because now I have to eat these 4 nights in a row. And also, I read the label after I had already eaten it. I read the label just to see, A serving is only half of one of the little cakes. So then in my mind, I'm like, so then why don't y'all just give us 8 teeny tiny cakes? Give us 8 servings instead of giving us 4 of these. Well, they're not large cakes, but girl, if you give me 4 of this size, I'm going to eat 4 this size. I'm not going to cut this size in half and only eat half of it. Oh my gosh, girl, you take that wrapper off of it. Don't even use a fork. Just bite into it. And it is so good. I mean, and when I say good, I mean decadent, delicious. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I didn't try this. Because when they first came to the store, they were $12.99. And I was like, absolutely not. I'm so glad I did not try it before they went on sale. Because now I know I won't be able to get them again. I'm sure they're sold out like today because they were only $5.97. Girl, when I mean to tell you, they are right up there with the blueberry croissant caramelization situation we had over the Christmas break. They are right up there with that. Right up there with that. I can only imagine that had I had one of these little miniature Dubai cakes with some of that eggnog, out of that jug at Costco, I probably would have levitated out, up, and through the Christmas season. I probably would have actually had a more delightful Christmas spirit too. Not even gonna hold you. Girl, that little cake was good. It did something to me. And what I really love about it is that my husband didn't like them. And so now I truly do have 3 of them left. And I get to have one again tonight. I get to have one the night after that and the night after that. Oh, and I love that for me because it was really just that good. Something else I got from Costco that was surprisingly good. And I only say surprisingly because every other kimchi that I have ever tried has been not pleasing to me and my palate. The kimchi that is at Costco right now, it comes in like a big plastic jug. And I want to say it has like a red screw-on lid. And I want to say it was only $8.99. Delicious. So good you could eat it out of the jar with a fork. I mean, I added it to food because I know that's what you're supposed to do. I added it to food, but it was so good that you could literally eat it out of the jug with a fork. So if you like kimchi or if you ever wanted to try it, this is a good one to try as like your first kimchi. It's so good. One last thing that I found at Costco, which is not anything like over the top that we've never tried before. It just so happened that this is a good one. Because, you know, store-bought guacamole can go either way. This is actually not guacamole. Like they're not selling it as a guacamole, or at least it's not being marketed using the word guacamole. They are calling it an avocado mash. And when I think about it, that's exactly what it is. Because it's not even seasoned like it's trying to be guacamole. It's really good. I would imagine that it would make a really great avocado toast. I've been using it just as a snack because it's pre-portioned out for you in little cups, and each cup is only like 90 calories. So I've just been eating it as a snack. But I can imagine if you were eating it for breakfast, it's the perfect amount to make toast, and it's got a really good flavor to it. So nothing about it gives guacamole. It really does give you mashed up an avocado, and you probably put maybe some, I don't know, salt and pepper and some type of acid in there, and there you go. It's really good. And those are also on sale right now. And I want to say they were on sale for $8.99. Very delicious. Now, I bought the kimchi because I was on TikTok, and some kind of way the Asian Korean breakfast side of TikTok landed on my FYP. And so now I'm watching people talk about like what they have for breakfast. And there was one content creator who was sharing his like little soup. I want to say he had sardines. He might have had like a little bit of rice. Maybe he had kimchi. Like he had all these little teeny tiny bowls of things. And it looked like a very good, like well-balanced breakfast. And I was just like, oh, okay, that, I see that. Then I saw another content creator share hers, and she had a soup that actually had rice in it. And I want to say it's called a congee. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it was basically like what we would probably think of rice porridge, but like more runny, maybe. It didn't look as thick, and she had different things in there. And then I saw some content creators eating like rice and eggs. Basically, it looked like fried rice, but it was like a breakfast version of it. And so I've just been seeing all these videos and them talking about how good it is for them, how like their grandparents always ate it and their parents always ate it. And like, yeah, it's been a breakfast that they have been eating all throughout the generations. And it's really how they stay in shape. And it's a great energy boosting breakfast to start your morning. And I said, nothing beats a failure but a try. So I'm going to try this because I already like soup, and I'm not opposed to eating, like what people wouldn't consider to be breakfast food. I'm not opposed to eating those things for breakfast as long as it serves a purpose, right? So I made the clear soup, which is basically nothing but the soup you get when you go out for hibachi. When you go out to hibachi, sometimes you get miso soup, and then sometimes you get that other soup. This is that other soup, which is basically chicken broth. You season it really well. In my bowls, I do black pepper, a little bit of salt, I do garlic powder, and I do umami seasoning. Swish that around and you microwave it. Now, I added a mushroom, like a sliced mushroom, green onion, and bok choy to our bowls this morning because anytime I can eat vegetables, like I'm going to do it. And I wanted the soup to be a little bit more filling. So that's what went into our soup. On the side, we had boiled eggs because a lot of the videos that I saw, they had boiled eggs. And some of the people soak their boiled eggs in soy sauce. And they talked about like how good it is. And so I will definitely be trying that and reporting back. But today we just had regular boiled eggs. I topped our boiled eggs with some of the pickled onions from the pickles that I had made. That was really good. And then we had a little bit of kimchi, and then we had tuna. I made this for myself and my husband. And then we had tuna because of course I'm like, I need to get more protein in. So that breakfast, first of all, it was low in calories. I counted up the calories for you guys because I know some people want to know. That breakfast was approximately 300 calories because I didn't eat that much rice. I literally took a tablespoon, and not the tablespoon you use when you're baking, the tablespoon that's like in your drawer with your silverware. I just scooped a scoop of rice and dropped it in my bowl. So it wasn't that much rice. So yeah, that breakfast was about 300-ish calories, but it was 30 grams of protein. Because you get protein from the boiled eggs, you got protein from the tuna, you got protein from the chicken broth. All of that came together for a very low calorie, high protein packed breakfast. Now, of course, you got to make sure you get fiber in there at some point throughout the day, which is why I also had some of the avocado mash before I called you guys. Because I'm like, you got to get fiber in if you're going to be eating all of that protein at once. But like, girl, that breakfast was very filling without making me feel like stuffed or like super full. It tasted really good. Like your taste buds were really like, ooh, eating all of those different flavors. And maybe that's because it's in the morning and I had not had a coffee today. And I'm going back. If we could just step off to the side for a moment. You know, when I first came home from the hospital, I wasn't drinking coffee, and it was a long time before I had coffee. Once I started drinking coffee again, I mean, everything was fine. Like it didn't do anything bad to me or anything like that. But I will have to say that I think I noticed a difference in the me that doesn't drink coffee every day and the me that does. I'm going to save what those differences are to myself until I am able to do further research. But I decided yesterday that, I'm just going to be a weekend coffee drinker. Like, let me see how that works for me. Because I do love coffee and I love having it. I love drinking it. I love making it. But I'm just kind of like, I might just need to be a weekend girl with the coffee. Once I have finished my little personal investigation, I will come back here and share the results. But I'm hoping cutting coffee during the week helps me out in all the ways I need it to help me. But to replace the coffee, because sometimes I feel like it's not the actual thing, it's just the ritual around the thing that we like. And I think maybe for me, I do just like a warm beverage. Like I do just like waking up, having something warm and like starting my day. So I replaced it with green tea. I have always liked green tea. I normally drink it iced though. Like to me, a glass of cold green tea or unsweetened iced tea is just like so refreshing. But I'm like, no, girl, drink that green tea hot and see if that can help you, not miss the coffee so much. Anyway, but because I hadn't had coffee or like anything like heavy on my taste buds, I was able to really like taste all of the different flavors going on in this breakfast, and it really did me right. So I'm going to stick with this breakfast at least for this week. and see what I think and how I feel. I'm also kind of craving a frittata. So maybe next week I'll have a frittata. But for now, I'm going to stick with this Asian themed breakfast because I want to see if it really does all the things they claim that it does for them. So far, just in my mind, scientifically and mathematically, I'm like, if nothing else, this is low in calories, high in protein. And we know that's always, where we want to be as far as eating for results. Anyway, let's do a quick medical update before we get into all of the mess. So I had my scan on Friday, the scan that I would prefer if I didn't have to get any more. I had that scan on Friday. It went fine. I had a different nurse. She was not as gentle as my first nurse that did it, but it's okay. Like, I made it through. Once the scan was over, though, they wanted to do a CAT scan, which I thought was interesting because they did not do a CAT scan the first time I went. But, once you're there and you have on their robe and their little sticky socks, it's, you kind of belong to them. So I was like, sure, we can do a CAT scan. Did the CAT scan. After the CAT scan was over, so after the first part of the scan was over, like the enema exam, she was like, they want to do a CAT scan. So I'm going to remove like the rod, the thing that's up your butt. I'm going to remove that. But the contrast that's in you, I'm going to need you to hold that in there. And so, for a girl that really hasn't had to use nothing back there in like 6 months, I was looking at that lady like, exactly what do you mean? And I made her repeat herself. I said, can you say that again for me? And she said, I'm going to remove it, but I'm going to need you to like clench your cheeks and hold that contrast in there. She was like, it'll stay in there as long as you don't push it out. And so I'm thinking to myself, y'all have got to be kidding me. So they must be pushing me on this bed over to that next scan. There's no way these people expect me to get off this bed, sit in a wheelchair, get pushed to the CAT scan, get up on a CAT scan table without letting this contrast leak out. But I always say to myself when I'm in those medical situations that like, well, these people know what they're talking about. They do this all the time. They wouldn't ask you to do it if they knew it, it couldn't be done. So we go through all of those motions. I am literally holding that contrast in for dear life. We get over to the CAT scan. I lay on the table. They push you through, you go in there, it beeps, makes noises, whatever, and then it comes out. Now, when I come out, I'm laying there and I'm thinking, okay, they're going to tell me to hold my breath again or whatever. They're going to slide me back in, but no one ever says anything. And so now I'm starting to panic because I'm like, I cannot hold this in that much longer. And then the woman was like, Miss Smith, we're done. We got a good image the first time. You can put your arms back down by your side because, they make you put your arms above your head. As I was putting my arms down by my side, that contrast starts to leak out. And then I'm laying there in a puddle of contrast, like this is just right on theme with with everything that has been happening. And so also, when you get one of those scans done, your pouch fills up with contrast because they shoot it up your butt. So whatever goes up there comes out in your bag and vice versa. Whatever you eat, obviously, instead of it going out the way it's supposed to, it goes into your bag. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, well, now that that's over, I was like, I really need to go to the bathroom because it's a lot going on. Like my bag is full. It's contrast leaking out of me. Like I need to go to the bathroom. And she's like, okay, well, you go to the bathroom while we have the radiology doctor review your images. And if he needs more, we'll get you back on the table. And I was thinking to myself, oh, baby, if he needs more, I don't know what to tell y'all because y'all going to have to find another way to get that contrast back inside me because it won't be the way that it went in the first time. I do know that. So I go to the bathroom. The rest of the contrast comes out. I go to empty out this pouch so that, I can empty it. You can't just have it full like that. My bag has never done this to me. Never. Never. So I don't know if it was the pressure from being so full, or I don't know. I undo the Velcro, which is step number 1 to opening it. And then you kind of have to when you're at the grocery store and the bags are stuck together in self-checkout and you have to kind of swish them together to get them to break apart, you kind of have to do that for the bag too. So you kind of have to move it back and forth to kind of open it. When I swished it back and forth to get that opening, when I mean to tell y'all, this bag projectiled all over everything that was in I would say 2-foot radius of me inside that bathroom. So when I mean to tell you, there was literal wet shit everywhere. It was everywhere. And you would have almost preferred it to have been at least true stool. But of course, no, because of all that contrast, it was watery and wet and splattered everywhere. It was like my bag had played a game of Splatoon. For the parents out there who know what Splatoon is, it was literally everywhere. So now I'm sitting there because I'm where does one go from here? Where do you go? Number 1, I'm glad I didn't have my own clothes on. And I'm glad my stuff was not in that bathroom. So I was breathing a sigh of relief. But then number 2, I'm literally, now what I'm supposed to do? You get up, you wash your hands, and now you have to tell them, hey, when I pop my bag open, it's never done this before, but it literally just shit all over your bathroom. So y'all are going to have to get somebody in there to address that. People cannot go in there because it's on the floor, it's on the wall, it's everywhere. And because it was watered down with all that contrast, I probably can't even see all of the places that it went. And what's funny about that to me is that that's not even the first time something like that has happened to me. I don't know if I've ever told that story on this podcast before, but I'll have to tell it. Not today, but on another episode, I will tell y'all the story of the night I went to Walter Reed Hospital and shit was everywhere. Not today. It'll be another day. But yeah, girl, that happened to me on Friday, but it was fine. I'm sure somebody had to clean that up. Unfortunately, I get dressed. We go get lunch. We come home. The handyman comes to do all of my lights downstairs. That went smoothly. While he's here, my phone rings and it is the doctor. And I say to myself, oh gosh, she has never called me the same day that I have gotten a scan done. So this is either going to be not the best news I've ever heard, or maybe it's going to be the best news I've ever heard. I don't know, but I know it's something because she doesn't do this. So I answer the phone and she's like, hey, Miss Smith, I saw the images from your scan earlier today. She was like, and I know the last time you got a scan done, no one ever called you. And I know how upset that made you, and it made you very anxious. She was like, so I was calling to let you know that the images from your scan today look beautiful. Everything looks great. So I'm going to go ahead and schedule you for your reversal. So I'm like, oh, yay, this is great news. I said, well, do I still need to keep my appointment on Wednesday or are we good? Should I just wait for somebody to let me know about the surgery date? And she was like, no, still come in on Wednesday because I still need you to sign all the paperwork for your surgery. And you're about to be good to go. You're about to be brand new, put back together. I said, oh, doctor, you're really that girl. And I appreciate you. I will see you on Wednesday morning. So we're on track, everyone. We are right where we're supposed to be. I go on Wednesday, and on Wednesday, I think I should find out the day and time for the surgery. And when I find that out, I will come back and share with you all. So right now, I'm trying to wrap up a lot of these house projects. I am trying to make sure that I'm just in a good place so that the surgery can go off without a hitch and everything is just running very smoothly. So That is a medical update. Now, let's talk about some of these other things that are going on. Before I forget, because I have been meaning to talk about this probably the last 3 or 4 episodes, I need to do a review of the Beyoncé holiday merch that I ordered. Because I saw people talking about that online, and I mean, some of it is valid criticism, right? And that's okay. So I ordered the Ben Cozy robe. Now, when the collection got put online, if you were to go up there and take a look at everything, the Ben Cozy robe looked very luscious. It was big fur around the neck. It was big fur around the wrist. It basically looked like it could have low-key been like an outerwear coat, but it wasn't. It's a robe. You know what I'm saying? The robe that I received, and I have already shared like a video of me in the robe online that I was still happy to get, just didn't look like the picture, but it is still a nice robe. Some of the things that I like about it is big, which I did order a size up, but it's big, it's heavy, it's warm. It's basically like a blanket that you can wrap around yourself. Well, I guess that's really what a robe is it not, Tia? But it feels like very, very comforting, like you want to live in that thing because it really is so warm and cozy. It really is. Now, the care label in the robe tells you not to wash it, don't put it in the dryer. It basically tells you don't do none of that stuff. The only thing you can do for this is dry clean it. And to that, I say, Beyoncé, girl, sorry. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not dry cleaning a robe. What I will do is put this robe in the washing machine on the very delicate cycle. Perhaps if I can stuff it into a lingerie bag, I will. And we'll hang it to dry. But what I will not be doing is taking it to nobody's dry cleaners. Mainly because I live in the Atlanta metro area. And my robe might go into the dry cleaners and I might not get it back. That's number one. Number two, absolutely not. I'm not paying somebody to clean a robe. Not paying somebody to clean a robe. I'm sorry. And I know she most recently became a billionaire. I'm assuming that is through the recent tour, as well as the success of Sacred and all these other little things she be slinging when she can sling them. People were very upset about the robes that they received in the mail. And some people had every right to be. Some people talked about the stitching. I think some people didn't even have Ben Cozy on the back, or I don't know. But if you go on TikTok, you can see some of like the robe drama. So as far as the robes go, I think I got one of the better ones from the collection, from the shipment. So I will be very thankful. I'm very happy with it. I have been living in it. I have been wearing it almost daily. I love it, but I did want to give a fair critique and review of it because it does not look like the picture, but it's still, like it'll go. It'll be fine. I'm just glad I didn't buy the matching hat to go with the robe because, no. I just wanted to give an update on the homemade pickles. They have been a hit. Everybody that I have given a jar to, they are in love with them, and people are requesting more pickles. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another batch of pickles. But I'm also going to do a jar of jalapenos and onions because those have been the best part about those pickles to me. I could eat the onions and the jalapenos out of that jar by itself as a snack with nothing else. I could just sit there and do that. So I'm going to also start doing those. Now, some other things that are now on my list of things to add to my little store that I apparently am about to start running out of my house. And by store, I mean I'm going to make stuff and give it away. No one's paying for these things. The chicken jerky, that was great. So I'm going to do chicken jerky again. But I'm also going to do a beef jerky this time. And I think the beef jerky is going to have a sweet flavor to it, like a teriyaki or something like that. So we've got new pickles, we've got jalapenos and onions, we've got chicken jerky, we're going to have beef jerky. Oh, and with the beef jerky, I just have to find a price on some of this beef that I like. I might have to break down and buy what I saw at Costco the other day, but I'm going to have to be in a different mood when I do that. I wasn't in the mood to spend that on Sunday because Costco was doing a lot for me on Sunday. And I just can't ever go back on a Sunday. But when I go back, I'm going to get the beef that I need, and we're going to do beef jerky with something like a sweet teriyaki flavor. And perhaps I'll add a little spicy note to it too. We'll see. But we've got 2 different jerkies. We've got 3 different kinds of pickles. We've got our onions and our jalapenos. And last but certainly not least, I'm about to learn how to make candy. And let me tell you why. Because I have developed the taste for wanting a little something sweet. And Mike's aunt makes candy every holiday season, and she mails it out, right? Well, this holiday season, we got it. It was good. It was good. It was good. It was good. However, I kind of feel like it was, not that it was hard to chew, but something about it was hard to chew, because I was having to do that. And you know what I mean? It was like on my back teeth. And so I'm like, oh, I could probably start making us candy, or not candy, but I could probably start making us little treats like this and figure out where that on the back teeth, where that's happening. And so I think what I'm going to start with, though, is some type of chocolate nut cluster thing. I have a cookbook with all of these different things in it. And I've had that cookbook since my daughter was a baby. So this is how you know. This is how you know when you're like operating in your lane and like within the things that you really are called to do. Because I got that cookbook back when Dillard's used to do holiday cookbooks every year. This has to be at least 15 years ago. I got this cookbook. Have I made anything from that cookbook? Girl, no. But now I'm at a place in my life where I'm doing the things, and now I can actually use that cookbook, and it's going to teach me how to make this candy. And if I'm not mistaken, the recipe that I'm looking at is a crock pot thing. So it's like you don't even have to do anything but drop everything into the crock pot. If it turns out good, let me tell you what my ultimate dream is. When people come to visit me and they're about to leave, like we've had a great weekend, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss you guys. I hand them a basket of things from my house. I hand them a basket. The basket is going to have a jar of pickles, a pack of jerky, some of this chocolate cluster, whatever that's going to be. And I think I'm also going to do a simmer pot thing, and I don't know if that's going to go in like a little mesh something or another, or if I'll have to put that in like a Mylar bag too. I don't know. The packaging on that one kind of throws me a little bit, but I'm like, yes, because I've been doing the simmer pot. Shout out to my homegirl that put me on. I've been doing the simmer pots, and I'm like, oh yeah. So what you got to do is you got to dehydrate these things. Some of them you have to dehydrate, probably like the fruit, right? Make sure it's good and dry. And then you can package, and so they will have that when they get home, and they can make their house smell just as good as it smells in here. I love that. That by the end of the year, I want to be able to do that. So I'm moving right along with these hobbies. I went to a crochet class. It was on the first Monday of the year. I went to the crochet class. It was at the public library. I get there, and it is a whole bunch of, retired women. So I was the youngest person there. They were so sweet, so welcoming, so friendly. And when I was trying to figure out what I was doing, because I can do a single chain stitch. I'm a pro at that. But turning that single chain stitch into anything that's like an actual project, like a beanie, a washcloth, a granny square, that is where it goes left for me. And so I think one of the ladies could see like the confusion on my face, and she was just like, oh, baby, I'm gonna come over there and help you because I can tell you look confused, like you don't know what's happening. She comes over to me. She smells like a pack of Virginia Slims, and she has that, you know, and I'm in heaven because I'm loving every bit of this. I'm loving the way she talks. I'm loving the way she smells. And she's like a pro at crocheting. So she's, telling me like, oh, you have to count your stitches. But because of where you are, like I'm looking at you, I can see how far away you are from being able to like count and do. She was like, baby, just keep practicing these same stitches over and over and over again until they start looking better. And once they start looking better, then start counting them to actually like create something. Oh, I love it. And I'll be going back. I will be going back. Now they have intermediate classes, I want to say on Thursday nights, but they don't have beginners classes that often. That's the point I'm trying to make. So I'll have to make sure I'm watching the calendar and that I'm going on the Mondays where they have the beginners classes, because I already told them that. They were like, oh, are you going to come on Thursday? And I was like, isn't Thursday for intermediate to advanced? And they were like, yeah, but anybody's welcome. I said, oh no, baby, I'm not ready. I need to stay in this here beginners class where it's not that many people. And because y'all are advanced, like very much so advanced, there was a lady in there making a mushroom toy. I'm like, I need to be in here so that I can get the help. If I come to an intermediate or advanced class, it'll probably be more people in that class and not as many people available to help. So I'm cool. I'm not in a rush. And she even said that to me before I walked out of the door. She said, well, just keep in mind, crocheting is not something that most people can pick up and just instantly become good at. She was like, it will take time for you to learn and become good at it. She was like, just don't stop and just don't give up. And I said, okay, message received. I'm going to keep working on it. And I have been working on all of my things, but now if I was able to add like a crocheted goodie to said, see you later basket. Oh my gosh, I would probably literally explode. Not quite like my bag did in that bathroom, but my emotions, they would be like all over the place. I was able to get my hands on the constantly sold out Academy Pilates Reformer. They had a Pilates Reformer that they had on sale for $299 all holiday season, but they couldn't keep it in stock. Once it went on sale, it was flying off the shelves. You couldn't get it in the store. You could not order it and have it delivered to you online. Nothing. It was gone. Every time they would get it, it was gone. And I had been checking all holiday season. Last week, when I knew like, oh, I'm definitely going to make some jerky or like another batch of jerky before I have this surgery, I was like, let me see if I can find some of the curing kits like here locally so that I don't have to keep ordering that online and waiting for it. And Academy ended up having curing kits. Like I didn't even know that Academy had an outdoor grilling section, but they do. And so I was like, okay, cool. Well, while I'm on their website looking at that, you know how things tend to go when we start doing these things. Then I thought to myself, now let me see if they've got those reformers back in stock. Girl, I pulled it up and it said low stock. Low stock. I said, oh, low does not mean no. So let me call them and see like what's good. The girl that answered the phone was like, oh, we have one. I said, oh, put it on hold for me. I'm coming. And she was like, oh, no, ma'am. That's not what we do over here. We don't put things on hold. It's store policy. If you want it, you got to come get it. I said, say less, baby. Let me throw on some clothes and I'm about to be over there. I got out of this house so fast. I got over to that Academy. I ran in there. They had them on display right up front. And they actually had two of them. I had somebody come get one and push it over to the register for me while I went and got my jerky kit. Checked out. Now, they didn't let me use my military discount. Well, they said they're not accepting military discounts right now. And I'm assuming that is because it's the holiday season. And that's how these corporations do. Now, if it was March or April, I probably could have used my military discount. But since it's the holiday season and they want to get all they can get, they wouldn't let me use it. that's neither here nor there because I was going to buy it regardless. So I check out. The young man loads it into my car for me. I get it home. My husband brings it inside. I am so happy. And when I mean happy, I mean joy. Like on that particular day, I was like, this is what joy is supposed to feel like. Like this, if there was a spectrum of joy, this has to be on the very high end of it. This is how I'm supposed to feel when I say like I'm happy. This is it. Which then really reminded me like, oh, Tia, you don't shop enough. It just made me remember, like I was able to recall like back in the day when I would just go shop and buy things. And I know people say like, oh, things don't make you happy or like what? And I'm like, I don't know how much I believe that anymore. Now, things should not be the source of all of your happiness. But sometimes when I get something new, I'm very happy. Another example of this is when I found that coffee pot on the clearance rack in Kroger for $12. Happy, full of joy. Came home, ripped it out of the box, put it on my counter. Was happy. This reformer, got it into the basement, was happy, full of joy, very excited. And now every day, my husband said he was going to put that thing together. I'm going to put it together. I got a call. I got basketball practice. I got this. I got that. Blah, 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 blah. Today, I woke up and I said, what's good with the reformer today? He said, it'll be put together by 12. When he got on the phone for work, it's like I guess he does have to still go do that, right? He got on that phone for work and I said, it's not going to be today because they have basketball practice this evening after school too. I said, oh no, I'm about to go down here. I was like, Tia, you don't need him to do that. You don't need a man. I got some scissors. I went down there. I cut that box open. I got the reformer out because like I said, on Instagram, which is why y'all got to be with us over there. Like I said on Instagram, it's practically put together itself. All you got to do is unfold it. Now, were there a lot of steps to unfolding it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Did I have to get the manual to figure out how to unfold it? Yes. Yes. But once I got it unfolded, the instructions were pretty straightforward. And because I was familiar with how a reformer is supposed to look and how it is supposed to function, it was very easy for me to put it together. And by easy, I mean, I think I was able to put it together in less than 2 hours. Like it didn't take that long at all. I'm so proud of myself. I feel so accomplished. When I came back upstairs, wouldn't you know it, he was off of his call. And the first thing he said to me when he saw me was, oh my gosh, you put that thing together, didn't you? And I said, yeah. And he was like, dang. He was like, well, at least take me down here and show it to me. So we go down there, we look at it. And because he knows me, he's like, yeah, so what can I do to make this better? And I was like, well, actually, there are a couple things I still need to make my Pilates home studio complete. You can definitely right click, check out, whatever. You can definitely get me the rest of the things that I need. And all will be forgiven, but I'm still going to bring this up all year long. I have to. I must bring it up all year because I put this thing together in less than 2 hours by myself with a pouch on my stomach. Thank you very much. So I'm so excited about having that thing, about being able to use it. So far, it feels like a really good, sturdy machine. And I will definitely give like a full review after I've gotten like several workouts under my belt. But so far, that $299 is eating down. I think it was $324 with Georgia tax. So I say all that to say, if you are looking for an at-home reformer that actually is a sturdy, good quality machine, this one is low to the ground, so you don't have to worry about falling. Well, I'm not going to say you don't have to worry about falling. Know your limits. Trust your own balance. Don't be standing up and doing all of that stand-up stuff if you know you're not ready to be doing that. But should you be on this particular reformer standing up and you happen to fall, you are not going to fall far because it's low profile to the ground. I love it. I love the color of it. I love the fact that I was able to put it together by myself, because that means it actually got done in a timing that was pleasing to me. And if I can put it together, anybody can. Because it occurred to me as I was putting that thing together that my hands don't even do that. I'm using that little L-shaped wrench thing that they give you when you get anything, and they like use this to put this thing together. I'm using that thing, and as I'm doing it, I'm thinking to myself, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, I know, but I can do it, and I am doing it. And so I'm very proud of myself, but he'll never hear the end of that. He will never hear the end of it. Also, since the last time we spoke, I had a video go viral on TikTok. Can you even believe it? I put a video together talking about hobbies for 40-somethings, and I shared all of the stuff I've been telling y'all I'm going to do. I shared it all in one video. That video went viral, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know how people do this all the time. Like, people who have large followings and they go viral like every single time they put out a video. I'm like, I don't know how people ever get used to that, because how do you not respond to all of the comments? And because I am such a little sweetheart down in my heart. I'm responding to everybody who's telling me about all of the hobbies that they're doing, things that they're learning. And people have some really interesting hobbies. People are fishing, like women, because these are all women that are responding to me. Women are fishing. They are studying astrology. Someone's studying Egyptian history. People are playing the piano. People are, punch needling. People are doing that. People are, of course, canning and crocheting. It was a lot of that because I shared that that's what I'm doing. So people are like, I'm doing that too. What else? Oh, people are doing flower arranging. People are taking salsa classes, ballroom classes. There were so many hobbies mentioned in the responses that I made a note on some of them, like, ooh, let me look into that. And if I have free time closer to the end of the year, once I've gotten a good groove going with the things that I said I would do, maybe I can pop into a one-off class here and there for some of these things, because that's super interesting to me. The lady that's fishing has my full attention, because I'm like, yes, if I could get my own fresh fish, wild caught out of the water, bring it home and cook it. I don't know, you guys. I feel like I love living on this little cul-de-sac, but I also feel like maybe I need to be living somewhere else where I have access to do all these things. Because yes, absolutely, girl, go get your own fish. I love it. Since we're talking about TikTok, let's talk about Kristi and Desmond, because it's been all over social media. They are a big popular couple. You might know Kristi from her flailing her little self all over the place in department stores. She'll try on shoes at Gucci and be doing cartwheels. She wears crazy costumes at home, and she like pranks her husband, who was a chef. And so sometimes her videos would be about like what she got to eat in a day, because she's married to a chef and the food would always look so good. That is what made me initially follow her, because I was like, oh girl, you're married to a chef. That's gotta be amazing. And the food did always look so good. And in the beginning, it was just Kristi and Kristi's pranks and her being silly and her eating, and that was it. He would always be in the background, either laughing or calling her name. He would either be laughing or he would be like, Kristi, no, like Kristi. Cute couple, right? At some point with his food, I remember watching a video and her saying to like us, the people watching, like, I told him he needed to create his own page for his food, blah, 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 but like he's not on social media, blah, blah. Well, she must have talked him into doing it, because then Desmond got his own page. And I am not saying that was I'm not saying that's what opened Pandora's box for them, But what I am saying is that probably had something to do with this, because before we all just enjoyed seeing him laugh at her in the background, or him be like, oh my gosh, Kristi, I can't believe you're doing that. When he started posting his own stuff on social media, I'm pretty sure that gave him a different level of attention that he was probably not used to. And Desmond is not bad looking. So let's also just state the facts. I am going to be on both sides of this, and people probably won't like that, but just hear me out. On the one hand, I'm like, girl, why you make him get a social media? Like, if he wasn't up there and he was happy just laughing at you in the background, why you make him get up there? Because you're only in your 20s and you don't know what you don't know. That's why you made him get up there. So that's number one. Number two, y'all have been together since you were 14. 14. Like, wow, that is crazy. That is crazy, because if y'all have been together since you were 14 years old and you never dated anybody else ever, that means this is the first time, as a grown man probably anyway, that he's getting lots and lots of attention in this way. And I'm sure that was appealing to him, because he is also in his 20s, right? Now, based on his apology statement, he says that they were already separated. But even though they were already separated, he still takes full accountability for whatever it is he did, which he cheated, I guess, while they were separated. So, and I'm sure that was like it for her. And she was like, well, now we're definitely breaking up. It sounds like they were trying to work on things and stay together, and he cheated. And now she's like, nah, like now I'm done, like for real. What I think about all of this is a few different things. Number one, I think when you're young like that, and a lot of fame and a lot of money and access and things like come at you somewhat, what it seems, kind of quickly, right? I feel like that can be a lot, right? I'm sure the 14-year-old, well, no one stays the same. Let's start there. So the 14-year-old versions of themselves that have become adults are definitely, not probably, they are definitely two completely different people. So whoever it was that they both initially fell in love with when they were so young, do you know how hard it is to grow older with somebody and actually stay like on the same wavelength? I can speak to this because I met my husband in college. We got married when I was 21, and I'm 41 now. I'll be 42 next month. It is hard to grow and evolve and change as a person without necessarily growing apart from the person that you are married to. That is very difficult to do. And so if anything extra is going on, I can see what that would create a problem. And I say that to say, if they are growing and evolving and changing as people, but now Kristi has this huge platform where, for the most part, a lot of her content is based on pulling pranks on him. And if Desmond has evolved into this person who's kind of like quiet, maybe he's a little introverted, or maybe he just doesn't want to be like at the forefront on camera or whatever, because we don't really know, because we don't know these people. But the fact that she had to talk him into getting on social media makes me think he either didn't see the value in it, or he just thought it was silly. And maybe he thought it was silly because her content is silly and he is the butt of a lot of her pranks, which I don't think is good for like a young man or his ego, right? I think that is something that anybody would tire of eventually. Stick with me. And I say that because don't nobody want to be with somebody who is goofy all the time, 100% of the time. Everything is a joke or a prank. No. And I'm pretty sure she wasn't like that, but I'm pretty sure what maybe caused him to have some of the feelings that he had was that to the public, it was like that. And I think that's probably a lot. And then who knows what people are actually like at home At home, I would like to believe that she's more chill and that she's probably nothing like what we see in her videos. We would like to believe that that's just a character she plays so that she can make money. But you never know. You never know. But I do know people get sick of stuff. And I feel like whatever was going on at their house, he got sick of it, since he apparently says he's the one that asked to separate. Whatever was going on over there, he was sick of it and he wanted a break from it. And he broke it all the way off when he cheated on her. Now, regardless of any of that, bruh, if y'all was already broken up, you could have just waited. You didn't have to cheat on her. Like, you didn't have to cheat on her. I don't care if she was doing cartwheels all up and through Gucci, all up and down the hallway in the mall. Like, I don't care if she put on a dinosaur suit and she was scaring you every time you pulled a pan out, because these are the things that she was doing. I don't care. I don't care. If y'all were already separated, you could have just waited. You could have just waited. Because what I also feel to be the truth is, I don't think she broke up with him because he cheated on her. I think she broke up with him because of the public perception of his cheating. I also don't think that was probably the first time that Desmond got caught doing something. Because, see, that's another reason why somebody wouldn't want to be as active on social media. I think a lot of people don't want to do it, and that's true. But sometimes I think, some people don't want to do it because it will expose something about you. If you have a super large following on social media, whatever you're doing in the dark, it will make its way to the light. And I think something had made its way to the light and she found out about it. And she was like, oh no, because if this comes out, that will be embarrassing to me. And I'm not about to be embarrassed on like a large scale like that. So now you got to go. So it's sad because, I mean, they have young kids. I saw a Instagram story of her the other day, though, and she looked great. And she seems like she's moving right along as she should. I'm still rooting for her. I'm still following her on TikTok because, like I said, I enjoyed her little silly videos. It's nice to see a young mom still doing something for herself. She goes to a lot of like movie premieres. She's best friends with the singer Her. And so sometimes they travel and go do things. And so, her channel is very much so interesting. And it was always her. Like, she was always the major draw into their family brand. They don't even show their kids' faces, so I wouldn't even consider them like a family brand. Kristi was the brand. She is what people were coming to see. I don't know how many followers Desmond has. I would have to pull it up because I did follow his page once she made him get one. I did follow it. It just doesn't come up on my FYP the same way hers does. So, I think several things can be true at one time. I think he just got sick of all of that and started trying to get attention elsewhere. I think she found out about him getting attention elsewhere, and it got to be something that I think she felt like was going to get out. And I think that is what made her be like, it's a wrap and you can go. And everybody in all of their comments is like, who's going to get that house? Because they just moved into this huge, beautiful house that they built from scratch. So that'll be interesting. But the last video I saw of Kristi was in an apartment. And again, I'm like, Kristi, why are you in an apartment? Unless you just don't want to be in that house, which is, girl, we support whatever you decide. And I'm definitely glad she decided that, like, I'm not going to stay with you. And you are out here sleeping with all these random girls. Like, that's a no for me. So good luck and God bless to all of them, to everyone involved. A friend sent me a text message the other day, and it was a video of JLo and Ben hugging each other. Now, this video was dated for New Year's Eve, and I don't know if these people are getting back together, but you know what? I texted her and told her I don't think they ever broke up. Like, I think they announced that they were getting a divorce or like whatever, but I don't think they ever broke up. And if you remember when her movie had its premiere, They looked really like super friendly on the red carpet. And at first I was like, well, this is his business. Like, he's in the film industry. So yeah, maybe he does care about how this film does. But no, it looked like a little bit more than just like a work thing. And I'm like, I bet you those people never broke up. He just got tired of the publicity of it all. And he was just like, yeah, we got to shut this down. Like, if we're going to be together, we got to shut some of this down, which kind of makes me sad for her because she seems like she's a love out loud kind of girl. I feel like that's part of how she wants to function, like within a relationship. And the fact that she can't do that does kind of make me sad, but it's kind of like, also, girl, you want to be with that man or not? You want to be with that man or not? And if you want to be with that man, you got to stop having your picture taken every time y'all go somewhere. You got to. You absolutely have to. So we'll see if we end up getting more pictures or footage of them here soon. I think that's it. Oh, no, it's not it. Ooh, how much time do we have? Okay, no, this is fine. On TV, I have been watching Love After Lockup. Oh my gosh, people are crazy. If you've never seen that show or you just want some mindless TV, put it on. It's like 1 million episodes out there. You can watch it. You can run it in the background. Everybody is crazy. I don't know what people be thinking. And this show is literally a very good representation of I don't know what people be thinking. The Pitt season 2 is back. It's on HBO. If you don't remember, The Pitt is about a hospital, and every episode is like 1 hour on their shift. So you probably will get, I think it's 12 episodes because it's a 12-hour shift. And it's so good. The way they film the show is amazing. The storytelling is so good. The actors are incredible. If you have not seen that show, check it out. I have also been watching, I don't know if it's called Magnolia or if it's just called Chip and Jo. I don't know. Chip and Jo are doing a house in the mountains. And the house is like a main house, and there are these other little tiny cabins around it on the property. They've been renovating that for like one of their homes for like their family to go to and like use for a vacation spot. It's been really good. I haven't watched one of their shows in a while. I watched the Lake House renovation show. And so now I'm watching this one, and I forgot like how they can be kind of like a cozy watch. So I'm watching that. And then, now we have to wait a couple weeks for this. But February the 4th, if I'm not mistaken, it's February the 4th, Kelly Rowland and Method Man play opposite one another in a movie called Relationship Goals, and it's going to be on Amazon Prime. They are going to be a couple on this show. Well, I don't know if they end up being a couple or if they are just each other's love interests. We don't know. But it's a romantic comedy. They are the two leads. They will be the ones in the relationship situation. And we cannot wait to see it. If you have not seen the trailer for that, find it. Find it, because we will be watching that the day that it comes out. The day it comes out, we need to have our snacks ready so we can sit and we can watch. Because whoever casted that movie and put Method Man opposite Kelly Rowland knew exactly what they were doing. If you wanted me to watch it, all you had to do is put one of them in it, and I was going to watch it. But the fact that you put both of them in it and they are opposite one another, Kelly really has had some fantastic co-stars. If you go back and you look at all of the men that she has had the opportunity of acting alongside of, they are always like the top of the top, the picks of the litter, if you will. Good for her. That girl is blessed and highly favored, and I cannot wait to see her in Method Man in February on Amazon Prime. Now, I do think that is everything that I had. I'm going to double check my phone. I hope everybody's 2026 is getting off to a great start. We are only 12 days into it. So I hope everybody's been sticking with their fitness goals, your hobbies, all the things that we talked about we were going to do. I hope y'all are rocking and rolling with all of the things and making them happen for yourself. Remember, when you're out, compliment somebody, say something nice, make another woman's day. Don't compete, don't compare, don't complain. What God has for you is for you, and never knock another woman's hustle. I'll talk to y'all again in a couple days. Love you, girl. Bye.